Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Getting ready for your exams? Good, because we're about to lock down one of the most important topics you're going to face: products and services. In this first part, we're breaking down all the core concepts you absolutely 100% need to know.
So let's kick things off with a little puzzle. What on earth do toothpaste, a university lecture, and a viral meme all have in common? I know, it sounds like a trick question, right? But the answer is actually the foundation of all marketing. They are all products. Yep. Each one is designed to satisfy a need, whether that's the need for clean teeth, the need for knowledge, or just the need for a good laugh.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to figure out what a product really is. Then, we'll dive into the official textbook definitions. After that, we'll break down the core features of any product. And finally, we'll get into how to classify them. Let's do this.
All right, section 1. What exactly is a product? Now, your first thought is probably something you can grab off a shelf in a store. But trust me, in the world of marketing, the idea is so much bigger than that.
See, in marketing, the definition is incredibly wide. A product is literally anything that's offered to a market to satisfy some kind of need or want. A car? Obvious product. But what about a checkup at the doctor's? Well, that's a service, and guess what? It's also a product. How about a public service announcement, like a stop smoking campaign? That's an idea being sold to satisfy our need for better health, and you got it, that's a product too. So this is the first huge takeaway. A product isn't just one thing. It's this whole spectrum that covers physical goods, intangible services, and even abstract ideas. Getting this trio down is so important because it totally changes how you see what a business can offer its customers.
And this idea is absolutely key to understanding value. When you buy a car, you're not just buying the tangible stuff, the metal, the glass, the rubber. You're also buying all the intangible benefits, the brand's reputation for being safe, the promise of good after-sales service, maybe even the status you feel driving it. The total value of a product is always this blend of what you can touch and what you can feel. Okay, section 2 is all about the official definitions. Now that we've got the general idea, let's look at how the experts put it into words. You're going to want to pay close attention here because these are the definitions that love to pop up on exams.
Winnie Anderson gives us this fantastic definition. He calls a product a bundle of attributes. I love that. It's not just one item, it's a whole package deal. I mean, think about your smartphone. It's the physical device, sure, but it's also the software, the brand name, the sleek box it came in, and even the reputation of the company that made it, all bundled up together. So if you need a really easy way to lock in Anderson's idea for your exams, just remember this phrase: a product is a bundle of utilities. It's not a single thing. It's a package of different benefits, all designed to help you, the customer. That's a powerful way to think about it. Then you've got Philip Kotler, who's basically a rock star in the marketing world. His definition is even broader, if you can believe it. He says a product is anything that can be offered to a market. This covers goods and services, of course, but also people, places, organizations, and ideas. So under Kotler's definition, a political candidate or a tourist destination, yep, those are products too. Now, other experts tried to narrow it down a bit. Shostak, for example, brings it right back to the physical world. For him, a product has to be tangible, something you can actually point to. Manzine, on the other hand, is all about the why. He argues that a product is simply an artifact that gives you a benefit. So you've got one expert focusing on what it is, and the other focusing on what it does for you. Okay, we've got the definitions down cold. Now, let's break down what actually makes a product a product. Think of this next part as your 5-point checklist for analyzing pretty much anything that's being sold. Every single product, from a candy bar to a cruise, can be broken down using these 5 core features. We're going to walk through them one by one. Let's break this down. First, you've got tangibility. That's the physical stuff, what you can see and touch. But then you have the intangibles, things like the quality of service or the trust you have in that brand. Then come the associated attributes. These are the things that make it stand out: the packaging, the brand name, the colors. You know, think about how Dalda Ghee became so famous that the brand name basically became the word for the product itself. That's the power of association. Next up, every product has to have an exchange value. It needs to be something you can buy or sell for a price. And finally, the whole point of it all, satisfaction. The product has to solve a problem for the buyer and, just as important, make a profit for the seller. It's got to be a win-win. All right, on to our final section for this explainer: classifying products. I mean, with millions of products out there, how do marketers even begin to organize them? Well, we're going to start with a really foundational method from a guy named Copeland all the way back in 1923, who sorted everything based on two super simple factors: durability and tangibility. Copeland's system is just beautiful in its simplicity. He basically said you can put every single product into one of three buckets: non-durable goods, durable goods, and services. Let's quickly define each one. First up, non-durable goods. These are the physical products that get used up really fast. Think about things like soap, toothpaste, or your favorite bag of chips. You buy them all the time, use them up in one or maybe a few goes, and then you gotta go buy more. Their whole life cycle is super short. Now, on the complete opposite end of that, we have durable goods. These are also physical products, but they're built to last. We're talking about your refrigerator, a sofa, a good pair of jeans. They survive tons of uses over a long, long time. And because they last, you buy them way less often. Okay, this chart is perfect for revision, so let's lock this in. Lifespan, short-term for non-durables, long-term for durables. How are they consumed? Non-durables are used up fast, while durables survive many uses. And that, of course, affects how often we buy them. Non-durables are a frequent, high-frequency purchase, while durables are an occasional, low-frequency buy. It's a really clear-cut difference. And that brings us to our third category, services. Now, these are a whole different ballgame because they're intangible. You can't touch a haircut, or a bank transfer, or a car repair. Services are really just activities or benefits. And their most unique feature? They're produced and consumed at the exact same moment, and they almost always need you, the customer, to be right there when it happens. So let's do a super quick recap of the key takeaways from part 1. First, remember that super broad definition. A product is anything, a good, a service, or an idea that satisfies a need. Second, a product's real value is always a mix of the tangible and the intangible. Third, all products have those 5 core features, from their physical form all the way to the satisfaction they deliver. And finally, the simplest way to classify them is to just ask, is it non-durable, durable, or a service? If you can master these 4 points, you have absolutely nailed the fundamentals. That wraps up the basics, but believe me, we are just getting started. In part 2 of this explainer, we're going to go even deeper into more advanced classifications. We'll look at the big difference between consumer and industrial goods, and we'll break down awesome categories like convenience, shopping, and specialty goods. You are not going to want to miss it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.